trying to do is I'm trying to model what impacts people's decisions to donate to public universities. Essentially, what traits of the university make them want to give more, what make them want to give less, what have no impact. And the idea behind this is that donations are a very significant source of funding for all universities, but particularly public ones. Public universities, in contrast, are really committed to providing access to this education, so they want to keep the tuition low, so essentially everyone from the state can afford to go there. Because of this, they get state appropriations, which is additional state funding set aside by state legislatures every year. But the problem with appropriations is that they're pretty volatile. They may go up one year, down the next year. Even if there's an overall historical trend to go up, like year to year it could go up a couple percent, down a couple percent, and what that translates into is that the university either has to cut people, cut services, or find additional ways to plug that hole. And where they plug that hole from is donations. So I'm trying to model specifically for public universities what impacts donation behavior, and specifically what is the role of athletics in driving donations. And the reason I'm focusing on athletics is past research, which has mostly focused on private schools, doesn't really come to a clear consensus about athletics. Some people find a positive relationship with athletics, some people find a negative one, and other people just find it to be zero. So I'd like to shed some more light on that, and especially seems relevant to Rutgers since we're going ahead with this whole stadium expansion under the assumption that it'll increase donations, so it'd be nice to know if there really is some statistical evidence for that. So I'm focusing mostly on men's basketball and football. Past research has shown that those are kind of the biggest profile sports on campus and the biggest ones that are really going to get an impact from various groups in terms of donations. So for each of those men's basketball and football, I'm looking at the average winning percentage over the past 2 years, and as well as whether or not they went to a postseason, such as bowl or March Madness, and then in addition to that, whether or not they went to a BCS bowl or made it to the Elite Eight round, trying to see if there's a payoff for getting to the postseason, and if there's another payoff for getting to really the final stages of it. See if we should be really trying to go to the BCS bowl or just any bowl in general. It seems to be that there really isn't an additional payoff for getting to a BCS bowl or the Elite Eight. It's simply just making the postseason really gets you that payoff. Roughly going to, for total giving at least, which is one of the measures of giving I've looked at, going to either a bowl game or the March Madness postseason will roughly increase giving by about 30%, which is pretty substantial. I'm working with Professor Joe Seneca, who works at the part of the Blaustein School of Public Policy and Urban Planning. I'm thrilled to have him. He's a great advisor. He's been really working with me closely this whole time, and he's had good advice throughout the whole time. I just like to recommend any research to anyone who's interested in it. It's a great experience. It'll look great on any resumes you do, but it'll also help you just grow as a person. And also, I'd like to thank Dr. Seneca for all his help.